Hi, if you're wondering what to do next in your business, or if you're just try to find something new, then this is the right place for you. This is Ryan Vaz with this podcast called Inspire. Inspire is an initiative by me and my team at PBN Bharat to try and bring out experienced entrepreneurs onto this set to kind of find out what is it that makes them tick, what is it that makes them successful, so that you could get inspired by them and try to utilize that into your business to help you grow. Today's guest is a well-known face in the Goan industry. He's spent 5 years into building a new age food brand from Goa. He's the founder of Wakao Foods under Dhond Green Ventures, supplying over 700 plus HoReCa partners across India and exporting to 6 countries. He has created a shelf-stable, ready-to-cook jackfruit products with no preservatives. He has been journeying into multiple ventures before this, including construction and restoration. I'm so honored to welcome someone who's kept experimenting until he found the right product market fit, someone who's been building a truly global food brand from Goa, and the founder of Wakao Foods, Mr. Sairaj Gaurish Dhond. Welcome, Sairaj, to this podcast.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having me.
Sairaj, I remember that reading somewhere that you were an advocate, and after that, when I met you somewhere in between, you were restoring old houses for restoring and developing old houses. So you were into real estate, and I think you've been doing some other things as well in between.
Yes.
Before you stumbled upon Wakao Foods. Many people have this thought process that the first one has to become a hit, and their first baby is, they're stuck to that first baby. But you've been skipping, or rather jumping from different till you found the right formula. Can I ask you to help us understand what was in your mind as you went through all these 4 or 5 businesses that you set up?
Sure. Firstly, thanks, Ryan. Thanks for having me here. See, when I was studying, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I was very clear in my mind. I wanted to be one of India's top lawyers.
Oh, wow.
I studied hard for it, and when I started practicing law, which I was really very inclined towards, I realized after doing it for a year that this is something that I didn't want to do for the rest of my life. Wow. I wasn't enjoying it. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that this is something I didn't want to do. So that is when I just pulled the plug on it, and I said, let's try something else. And business entrepreneurship comes to us naturally because I come from a family of entrepreneurs.
Right.
I'm a 4th generation entrepreneur. So the first thing that happened was I moved into my family business. That was the most natural thing to happen because I waited, I saw what to do next. And I joined my dad's business of hotels. But I lasted there for exactly 6 months. And the day I moved to my next thing, there was just one vision in my mind, and that was to build one of India's most loved brands. A brand that would be very proudly called a Goan brand, but that would go all across the world. Now, I didn't know what the product was or what it would be, but I knew that I wanted to build a brand. And this whole thing of entrepreneurship is not a destination, it's a journey.
Journey, absolutely.
And I was on this journey of trying to find out what the product would be. So it started with solars. I thought I'll build one of India's most loved solar brand. And I'm talking about almost 12, 13 years back.
Right.
So, and it was very new, solars then. But again, after doing it for a year and a half, I realized that Goa wasn't the most conducive place for it then.
Right.
And I said, okay, this is not something I think I can build a brand out of. So then I moved into lighting. Again, LED lights was something very new, upcoming then.
Right.
So I said, let's build a brand like Philips. And I'll get from China, I'll do this, I'll do that. So a lot of dreams, young guy at 23, 24. I was thinking of all of these things. I did lighting again. I did some very good projects. I was a distributor for 2 companies from India.
Okay.
Then I again realized that lighting is becoming a commodity. It's commoditized. Very difficult to build a brand and compete with the big guys. So I said, what next? No, this is not something that I can build a brand I want to do. Then the search went on, and then I stumbled upon the beautiful heritage homes that Goa has. So I bought an old heritage house in Aldona. I completely restored it and I resold it. and I made some money there.
Right.
And I said, okay, real estate may not be the most amazing brand-based thing, but right now this looks as a good money thing at least. You can
Right.
do a good business over here. That's when COVID happened. And I was going to do my next project, and that's when COVID happened. Everything came to a standstill. And I said, okay, it looks a little risky now to do the next project. I just took a break. I said, let's think what to do next. And during COVID, it brought me to this thing to understand that food had become something which was a necessity now.
Absolutely.
And people were really looking at what was getting onto their plate.
Right.
And I started thinking and looking at...
Not just food, but health food also.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I started looking at very indigenous foods that were there, which were close to Goa, like something that was grown here, which was there, which was not being utilized, which had potential. That's when I came across one article, a video by Palki Sharma Upadhyay.
Okay.
And it said, the title was The New Superfood of the World, Jackfruit.
Oh, wow.
And it hit me like a punch on my nose. I'm like, jackfruit is grown in our backyard. It falls,
Right.
it rots. No one
Right.
cares.
No one cares.
And here, not Goa, not India, the world was calling it a superfood.
Right.
So then I started researching, I started reading about it, and I very soon realized that it's not jackfruit. It's a jackpot. And there's so much that can be done with it. And that's when for the first time, I felt that probably I found that product. Which a brand can be made, a proud Goan brand can be made out of, which no one had done before. And that space was there, and something within said that this could be the thing. And yeah.
So something similar is with ladyfinger, moringa.
Yeah.
Moringa also is known as a superfood.
Superfood,
And I was surprised. We just grow, it just falls down, rots over there.
Correct.
And
Sometimes we don't value something that is there in our backyard.
Exactly.
And people all across the world value
it.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you've taken the jackfruit. It used to hurt me to see jackfruit just falling down and rotting, and then you managed to turn this around into a product and a very successful brand. One of the things that brought you out in front of the people was the fact that you participated in Shark Tank. And that was a proud moment for all Goans, when we saw Sairaj Dhond at the Shark Tank, and I know that a lot of people were watching the entire episode, some of them even twice and thrice. However, you once told me that you did not take the funding that you received.
Yes.
What's the logic behind that?
So, see, I was very clear when I went on the show that I want to get a funding there. I want the sharks to come on board. I had asked it was basically just on valuation and what value I could derive out of it.
Right.
And whether it was worth for my company.
Right.
See, I'm a very simple person. I believe that I'm a representative of my company.
Right.
And I have to do the right thing for the company.
Absolutely.
So when we went, we had an ask of around 75 lakhs for 5%. But when I came out with a deal of 75 lakhs for 21%. And we were hardly 10 months old then. And when I came out, I had to really weigh the checks and balances and see whether am I doing the right thing for the company at this stage? Because we were just growing, we had just started. And that amount of 75 lakhs wasn't that big an amount to give away 21% of the company at this stage, because we will require a lot of funding in the future. So I said we have to right now preserve this, and I didn't think there was a match there in this. I went back to them, I renegotiated, I tried to get them to around 9% for 75 lakhs. But all three did not agree. There was some who agreed, but it didn't go through, and so be it. And but I have great relations with them. I went and I had a very candid conversation with them. I told them very clearly as to what it is and how I think I'm not doing it right for the company if I take this deal. And they respected that view, but they also had their own views.
Right.
And we parted ways amicably.
Right. So, for the sake of the audience and for a lot of people who do not understand what were the red flags that you were seeing? To give out 21% of your company for 75 lakhs. One is you mentioned that in future you will require more funding. But I'm sure that was not the only thing. There must have been more points. What is it?
So see, you have to basically just compare and see whether the value that will be coming into the company through these investors and through the money, is it worth that much of dilution at this stage. I think there was no rocket science or too much of thinking around it. It was very simple. See, you have to also understand that these investors are very busy people. They have their own businesses. They have their own. They every year they invest in 20, 30 startups.
Correct.
So even if one day a year they give, they won't have even that much time to give. And
Right.
so you can't really expect them to come and handhold you or to help you every day or to give you complete attention. That's practically not possible.
Right.
And to expect that is stupidity.
Right.
So that is what we have to put into perspective and see that at this moment, do we need to do that? So then we didn't take that, and today we are bootstrapped. I still own 100% of my company, and now we are going in for our first round of we are raising our first round of investment, because now we've set a base and now we need to scale.
Right.
So now we'll probably go at the valuation will definitely be different from what it was then, and and it'll be a more positive thing for the company as a whole.
Right. Sairaj, from the way I look at you,
Yeah.
okay, you have a good product. You have a good market. I mean, the market, you have built a good market. But by and large, your key to success has been the way that you have projected yourself. You yourself have said that you're turning yourself into a brand. Okay, what is the... So I look at you more as a marketing, more from the marketing perspective.
Yeah.
You have positioned yourself very well. What is the formula for replicating this kind of success if somebody wants to follow you?
So see, first I think that you need to believe in what you're doing.
Right.
And the most important thing is to have a good product. Okay.
That's the first.
That is the first. So if you have a bad product, no matter what branding and marketing you do, it's never going to work.
Right.
So once you've made sure your product is right, which we are very confident of our product is right, then I think branding is something that is an art, because branding is the way a person or your customer looks at you, and the perception that you build around yourself and your brand in the minds of your consumer is branding.
Right.
So basically it is what I want my consumer to think of me. If I can get him to think of that, then my branding has been on point.
Right.
So
right.
it's very simple. So what happens is, and sometimes it's even counterproductive, where Sairaj becomes so closely associated with Wakao that the line between Sairaj and Wakao is blurred. So a lot of people call me Mr. Wakao, jackfruit, and I like it. So for me, I think Sairaj is inconsequential.
Right.
I'm not a self-obsessed person, but I also know that I was the one who came on Shark Tank. So it's my face which was there.
Right.
And if I can use it to benefit the brand, I'll go out of my way to use it.
Right.
But I wouldn't use it for self-promotion.
Right.
I'll use it if it helps the brand. And I think today what has happened, times have changed. There were times when no one knew who the founder of Nike was.
Right.
Or the founder of Adidas was. But today times have changed. People are more interested in knowing the story behind the brand.
Story behind the brand, absolutely.
They want to know who are the people behind the brand. And not only the founder, but even the people, what's the company culture, how are they building the brand, what's happening. So people are very inquisitive. If you see today, the Starbucks is one brand which has always remained, and it's a legacy brand.
Yes.
But today people like artisanal coffee, they like small batches, they like things which are done in startups, like new things. That's because people are today connecting with brands. Founders have become so much more accessible.
Right.
People like to get inspired, do things, want to get into the mind of a founder, of how things are happening.
Absolutely.
So without becoming too overexposed or becoming overpowering the brand, you have to play the subtle part of promoting the brand and being the brand wherever you can. And because a very good friend of mine, you would also know him, Praveen Kakode, once told me, so if you see me, I roam everywhere with a Wakao branding. So even my phone will have a Wakao thing. I'm like a chalta firta hoarding of Wakao. So he once told me, he wears his upgrade brand very proudly. Yeah. So he said, if we don't wear our brand on our chest very proudly and roam, why will anyone else wear? What is the point wearing a Burberry or a Adidas or whatever and roaming? Doesn't make sense. So you have to wear your brand, and I've realized this. So this is a very important part of branding also.
Absolutely,
for
very
anyone.
good. Very
So
interesting.
whenever I'm traveling on work, okay, which is 90% of the times, 5% of the time would be for leisure or anything else. But whenever I'm traveling, which is a lot, you will never find me at an airport without a Wakao branded T-shirt.
T-shirt. Nice.
It's not possible that you'll find me. So what happens, and I've observed this. One is people look at if you see a T-shirt and you see something written on it or a shirt, your eyes automatically go there.
Yes.
You just observe it.
Yes.
You want to read what's written there. And I've seen this, people watching my T-shirt, reading, and suddenly the expression changes many times. This is the recall.
Because the
They say,
recall.
"Arey, I've read this brand," and they look at my face. I've seen this guy somewhere.
Sairaj.
And half of them, 3/4 of them don't know my name. They look at jackfruit. Wakao. And that's my biggest win. I think I don't want people to know Sairaj.
Right.
If they can just look at me and say that, okay, this is jackfruit. We are building a category. Understand that no one had ever done this before. If people are looking at me and remembering jackfruit, means I've won somewhere.
You won something. Absolutely.
So that's the whole branding, marketing exercise that I always look at doing.
How do you build up that recall value?
So one is that I've been extremely lucky to be on Shark Tank. Okay, that no one can take that away from me. Till the end of my life, it remains with me.
Yes.
See, I don't know if you've been to our outlet, but if you see, there are two TVs. One TV has the menu, and the other TV has only the Wakao, the Shark Tank pitch going.
Yes.
So we have a smaller version of the Shark Tank pitch, which we've done, and no one can stop us from playing that. My YouTube video, which Sony had put, has 4.5 million views. No one can take away as seen on Shark Tank from me for the rest of my life.
Right.
So we've got something which is priceless.
Right.
And which is very rare. So now how do we use that is what it is. And that's where the whole thing comes under. How do you really use something that you have got, and how do you make the most of it?
Right.
And branding cannot be in your face. It has to be subtle.
Exactly.
It has to be all around you, but without you really observing and feeling that it's being pushed on you. And the most powerful branding happens when your customers start talking about you.
Right.
And that's the most powerful word of mouth. So I used to joke with my mom when we came on Shark Tank. I told my mom, I said, you know what, I feel there are so many more people outside this house who are more proud of me than you.
Right.
And, because I got so much of that love and that warmth.
Absolutely.
And for the first time, I experienced that Goan warmth.
Right.
Where people were, like you said, genuinely so proud.
Yes, they are.
It's like, when we see Suyash Prabhudesai playing for RCB, I don't even know him personally. But every time he went to bat, I felt like I was batting.
Right.
And my mouth is too dry, and I used to hope he. So it's like that. When a Goan sees another Goan succeed,
yes,
99% of the time, there'll be those 1%, but we always are very proud and we are very happy about that happening. So I think the Goans have also been one of my biggest brand ambassadors.
Right.
They love to say that this is the. So the other day, we were so fortunate that our Honorable Chief Minister mentioned us in a talk somewhere. Suddenly everyone was sending me that. It went semi-viral. So everyone started sending me, you've got a new brand ambassador. But it was just a fact that the Chief Minister was appreciating a Goan brand.
What's behind the name Wakao? I mean, you must have explained this to a lot of people.
It's the most frequently asked question, but very quickly I'll tell you because it's interesting. I believe in one thing, that you need to do what you're good at, and you should know with more clarity what you're not good at. So all these creative things and coming up with great names and all is not my forte. So I had a agency which was there.
I love that you're so candid about it.
No, and I think every entrepreneur needs to be candid.
Absolutely.
Needs to be very, very clear with what you're not good at. If you try to do everything and try to do things which you're not good at, you'll end up with mediocrity.
Absolutely.
Which is you cannot afford that if you're trying to build a brand of scale, a national brand.
Very important what you just said.
Very important. You have to be very clear. Get the right people. Get the right consultants to do certain things.
Okay.
Now, can I go and cook? I can't cook to save my life. So how can I determine what menu should be there at my outlet? I need a consultant for that. Who knows what to do. So coming back to this, so there's this a friend of mine now, his name is Manish Masi, who did our entire branding.
Okay.
So I gave him a brief. I said, see, I want a name which could probably mean nothing. It could be abstract, पर कोई एक बार सुनेगा ना वो भूलना नहीं चाहिए. It has to have a ring. So they came up with some MBA scientific technique of coming up with a name which I never knew any. I'm not an MBA. I don't know what this, all these jargons also. So it was a pyramid technique. So we went through almost 200, 300 names. And then one of the names out of all of this was WAKO, Wakao. And I found that name to have a ring to it, and it sounded really nice. So I asked Manish, I said, Manish, what does Wakao mean? So he gave me a one word profound answer. He said, nothing. And I'm like, nothing, okay. So then he asked me, he said, what does Yahoo mean? I thought. I said, nothing. He said, exactly. Wakao is an expression of happiness. It's like
celebration.
Yahoo, Wakao. I said, superb. It doesn't mean jackfruit, doesn't mean anything. But it's just something now you hear Wakao once. It has a ring. It's difficult for you to forget Wakao.
It has an amazing recall value.
So I thought that was one of the best things that happened to us very early.
You've, I'm sure, throughout your journey, in the last, I think around 8 to 10 years.
More than that.
Yeah. So in this last decade or so, you've faced numerous hurdles, failures at many times. How do you have the strength to keep trudging?
So this also I've been asked many times, and see, challenges happen every day. Even on the way while coming here, I had a challenge which I was dealing with on the phone. One thing that is very important for an entrepreneur to believe in is his vision. To know the bigger cause. Why am I doing all of this? Why am I even here? Why am I during the peak of COVID? Why were I traveling to Kerala where it had the highest cases, and then I had to come back and sleep next to my son? Why did I get tested like 30, 40 times? Why did I put my 2.5-year-old son through 20 times of testing? Why did I take all of those risks? Why did I bet every single rupee that I'd earned in my previous ventures in this venture?
Right.
That is because I believed in that we could create something which was never done before.
It's a deep sense of...
You have to have that deep sense of belief in what you're trying to build. So I know that today probably I'm not yet built that scale. I've not yet achieved what I wanted to achieve. The road is way ahead. It's so much more to do. But for the last 5 years, we've built an entire category around a fruit that was ignored. It was completely ignored. Jackfruit, no one even knew. Like, we knew, but no one knew that it could be sold commercially. That so many things could be done. Today, we sell to 700 restaurants across India. They make so many lovely dishes using our products. You go to a BSB today, he makes 5 dishes. You go to a burger factory, they make a jackfruit thing. You go to our outlet in Miramar, you see the dishes we make. You won't believe what you're eating. So we realized we've done something which was completely different, and we know what we want to achieve next. So that sense, and for a entrepreneur, perseverance is the only formula.
Absolutely.
You have to keep on persevering. And it's not that I did this and that hit the right place. I've tried like 3, 4, 5 different channels of sales, and I failed in almost all of them. That's when I hit B2B. I started selling to HoReCa. That worked. Then I realized from that, my learning from that was that hotels are buying my raw product, making great dishes, selling it. So I said, why don't we start our own small QSR?
Right.
And then scale that. So we completely stopped our retail sales. And now we only sell on our website. We don't sell anywhere else. We stopped our retail sales. And we are going to the consumer through our QSR. So we're saying, you come to our outlet, you order on Zomato, Swiggy, and you eat our product. Or you go to the hotels where we supply. So we'll not sell you packets anymore, where we want you to make at home and eat. We thought we'll change that.
So Sairaj.
So I'll give you an example also, Ryan. It's very important. Because a lot of founders today, they feel quick commerce is the big thing.
Yes.
Zepto, Blinkit, Instamart, 3 of them. Other guys are also there. But I don't want to use that word. We've got thugged, looted by one of the big guys. We've lost close to 15-18 lakhs with them.
Wow.
And they're borderline frauds. I wouldn't take a name, but I'm telling you, it's a very dangerous business for a newcomer to really go into, because they don't care about you.
Absolutely.
So you have to be really, really circumspect, and especially for a bootstrap founder who doesn't have funding from, like, some funding in the bank which is giving you that impetus to go, you burn money and get into this. or they can loot you. So be very, very, very careful.
So very quickly, because we're out of time.
Yeah.
How did you work around this?
So this was one of the biggest challenges we faced. One of the most important things that we took a fundamental decision was to stop retail.
Okay.
And I don't know, tomorrow when I look at it 5 years, 10 years down the line, maybe this is a good thing that happened to us, because that really brought the brakes on retail.
Right.
We didn't. One was that we realized this is a tough market to do retail in. But the second thing, we didn't actually have that kind of then fund leverage only to continue. We said, let's just stick to what's working for us and not try these adventures.
So your sales channel now is B2B directly to the hotels. And your QSR. That's it.
That's it.
And for anyone who wants to buy your product,
So
you go online.
We also have online on our website. We have a few products which are listed, which we sell. But that's not our main business. That's just because if someone wants, they can buy.
And in the export?
So export, we sell everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So export, we sell retail also. We sell HoReCa also. We sell everything.
Nice.
But what happens in export is we have distributors there who take the entire responsibility of it. So I'm not into the micromanagement of sales.
Of that, yes.
So
yes.
I just sell the container to them, and then they take responsibility of it.
Sairaj, thank you very much for coming onto this show, and very openly, without any restriction, you've been sharing your success, your growth, and your formulas. Thank you very much for coming on this and making this impactful. I hope that a lot of guests are going to be listening to this and understanding that base framework which Sairaj has used to build and create his brand, especially the part where you spoke about how you build your brand. That was amazing. A lot of inputs in that. Thank you very much, Sairaj.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks. Pleasure.